Before I watched Parody Movie, this is the 2009 film, I didn't look at any of the ratings or any of the reviews, and as I was watching it, I couldn't work out if this was a film that people would really like or really hate. And upon inspection, it turns out that it's kind of one that people can take or leave. Personally, I think I really quite enjoyed it. It's directed by Charles Dewandeler. I apologise if I pronounced that incorrectly. And he's directed several other kind of similar spoof-based films and sketch series. And I'm going to see if I can actually find those. And I think the fact that I'm willing to look out for more of his work is testament to the fact that I must have enjoyed this film and found aspects of it quite interesting. Now, I do have to confess, spoofs and parodies are my guilty pleasure, and I always love them. The one thing that needs to be important about a parody is that you have to really to enjoy it, you have to understand what it's parodying. And the first thing I will say about this film is that it parodies popular films, popular characters. So if you are a film fan, you will almost guaranteed understand the characters. I will talk about which characters are parodied, so if you don't want to know that, I'd advise watching this first. It's currently on Amazon Prime, which is where I watched it, and I was pleased because most of the things they parodied, maybe all of the things they parodied, were films or film series that I personally really liked. So it kind of spoke to me. And I think that's the main thing about this film, is that it speaks to the film fan. It starts off with this guy called David who wants to be a director, and him and one of his friends, and then gradually more and more people, decide to create a film. They want to create a parody movie, and obviously this is low budget. That goes as far as saying a no budget movie that they are making, and that's kind of the feel of it. The film itself is not the most profound. We don't have a lot of crisp lighting, and not that the lighting's bad, it's just not perfect. We have some really shaky camera work, but because you're watching a lot of it through the lens of either the director's camera, the parody's director's camera, or one of their friends operating the camera, you kind of feel like you're in that environment. And I think it speaks to any of us who loves film and would love to write or direct a film. I have no directorial instincts, but I have written screenplays, none of which I've done anything with. But it does kind of speak to that desire to create and to imagine things and seeing it come to life. And I think you have to be a film fan. The more of a film buff and a film addict you are, the more you will enjoy it. It's not like, for example, Scary Movie, which I would consider to be probably the most well-known parody film. For that, you kind of just need to be a horror film fan. But with this, you need to probably find a fascination in cinematography in all aspects. But if you are the target audience, you will enjoy it. I think it'll work better if you watch it with a friend. I watched it on my own, so I was having a running commentary inside my own head. But if there are more than one of you, you can bounce a lot of the humour around. It's very silly. It's a little bit crude at times, but it's fun to watch because I think it's very relatable and something basically every film fan has either done or wanted to do at some point in their life. So, things that are parodied. This is where I guess we'll have a few spoilers. I may miss some out because I'm just doing this off the top of my head, but we have Batman and the Joker and Superman, and I will say the Joker costume is incredible. I'll see if I can find who was in charge of costuming while I'm trying to remember the rest of them, but I thought the Joker looked particularly fantastic. No, the costume department, if you like, is not listed on IMDb. This is a very, very small production. I'm not sure what the budget was, but it's obviously not a big budget production. We also have Doc Brown and Marty McFly, which was great fun. I really thoroughly enjoyed that one. Harry Potter. The Harry Potter bit was interesting in the sense that I like Harry Potter, but it wasn't the best parody. But because this is a film within a film, like the film itself is not the parody, the film they're making is the parody, they can kind of get away with the parody being bad and that still being enjoyable because you're watching these amateurs create an amateur parody. rather than it being a professional, high-budget film creating a high-quality parody film. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head, and I hope it would make sense when you watch it. And one that I was waiting for was Star Wars, and they parodied Star Wars, and it was brilliant. I really liked it. We had some great parodies of Luke. They did Luke really well. Honestly, I feel like I'm missing. Oh, the Muppets, Miss Piggy and Kermit. They gave Miss Piggy a different name. I can't remember what it was, and Kermit was brown rather than green, which I assume was to get around copyright. But it was blatantly obvious who they were meant to be, and it worked really well, and it was good fun. Obviously, one of the great things about a parody. Oh, Captain Jack as well. I apologise. They're just coming back to me. I should have written them down when I was watching it, to be honest. But what you should do is see if I've missed any by watching the film, because I recommend it. Star Trek. They parodied Star Trek. I've definitely probably missed a few others, so I do recommend you check out the film to watch it and see what you think of it. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. It's not it's not the best film in the world. It's obviously very low budget. It only has 52 reviews on IMDb, which, considering it's on Amazon Prime, I would have expected more, but maybe the reviews are all on Prime. And it had a rating of 5.4 out of 10 across those 52 reviews, which I think is reasonable enough, because it's not the most powerful film, it's not the best parody film, but because it's a parody film within a film, it's a slightly different experience. If you're a film fan, you'll be able to kind of laugh at yourself while watching it, because there will be a lot of things that at one point you would have thought or felt, and that passion for cinema, you'll kind of get that feeling as well. As I said, it's a bit crude at times, mainly through the director, the film's director character, David, but which I felt was a bit unnecessary, but it kind of gives it a more, makes it appeal more, I guess, to teenagers and younger viewers. Not children, of course. It's not suitable for young children. I liked it. If you like films, if you're passionate about cinema, I'd say give it a go. It's not long. It's about an hour and 20. It's good fun. I think it's a pretty decent way to spend an hour and a half or whatever. As I said, Dewandeler, I apologise, has directed several other kind of spoof things. Just looking at the IMDb page, there seems to be there was something this year called Show Stealer, which I'm not sure. I've heard of that, so I'm definitely going to check that out. Do let me know what you think of this. I hope you like it. It's good fun. It's not the best thing in the world. It's not the biggest budget, but if you're a film fan, I think there's a lot of it you'll be able to relate to. Shamefully sometimes, but it's a pretty decent way to spend a bit of an hour and a half. I liked Parody Movie.